Hi guys, welcome to Acharya's Learning. Today we'll be discussing about the physiology of the thyroid gland, okay? So, if you come back here, okay, let's talk about the thyroid gland. And as you guys know, the thyroid gland is located in the neck, okay? And I've already discussed in very detail about the locations and also the vascular supplies of a thyroid gland, okay? In my anatomy video. So if you come back here, so this is a butterfly substructure, which is our thyroid gland, right? And thyroid gland the thyroid gland contains, majority of thyroid gland contains the cells, okay? These cells are called follicular cells. They're also called principal cells, okay? And the way this, if you look at this structure, there are a lot of this, this is your so-called your follicular cells, okay? And outside these follicular cells, you see this in your bluish, these are called your C cells or parafollicular cells. These are known for releasing calcitonin. And as you know, calcitonin, what? It excretes out so-called calciums from your body, right? That's what it does. And then this is a blood supply. And remember, the blood supplies on the thyroid glands are highly, highly vascular, okay, as you guys know, because it's one of the largest endocrine gland, and it also produces the thyroid hormones, and these are very important for cell maturations or cell growth, okay, or ATP synthesis also, or those transporters that present in every cells, like for instance, like sodium, potassium, ATP transporters, and there's a lot more other functions. As we go, we'll talk more about that, okay? But anyways, so the functional unit of your thyroid gland is so-called follicular cells, and they appear to be, and the reason why they're called follicular cells is because follicles basically means is that they have the central cavity, okay? And the central cavity is lined by epithelium cells like this, okay? So this could be one, and this could be another one, or this could be another one, and obviously what is combining these cells together is so-called your tight junctions, okay? And there's a highly vascular supplies, okay? And this is also where you see a fenestrated capillaries also, okay? And then what is happening here is that outside there is other cells right here. These are called parafollicular cells, okay? And the blood supply is going to be there, okay? See, the reason why they call follicles is because these cells are lining the central cavity, okay? Because of that, they call this as a follicular. You can call this as a follicular cavity, okay? And these are follicular cells because these follicular cells are, as I said, the functional unit of your thyroid gland because they are important for synthesizing your thyroid hormones, right? Now, after this, what you have to know is that whenever these cells are, let's say, inactive, okay, let's say they're inactive, okay, if they're inactive, then what happens is that these cells appear to be like low, okay, cuboidal, okay, low cuboidal to low, say, squamous, okay, that's what it is. And whenever they're in active form, okay, let's say this is active now, okay, they will become from your cuboidal, okay, from cuboidal to so-called your low columnar, okay, whenever they are active. Meaning that whenever these are functionally working to synthesize your thyroid hormones, that's the shape these guys take, okay? Now, after this, you also have to remember that, posteriorly, okay, this thyroid gland contains so-called parathyroid glands, okay? And they have these glands, okay? So if I quickly talk about, let's say this is a butterfly shape of your thyroid glands, right? You see one more here, you see one more here, you see one more here, okay? These are going to call as the superior parathyroid glands, and these are called inferior parathyroid glands, okay? So altogether, there are 4 parathyroid glands located posteriorly of your thyroid gland, and these guys produce so-called parathyroid hormones, okay? Now, and we'll talk about more about that when we talk about the parathyroid, okay? Right now, we're going to focus on the thyroid hormones. Now, one of the things that I have to talk about here is that, guys, these thyroid glands, the structures of thyroid glands here. If we come back here, okay, see the thyroid gland is a butterfly structure. This part, okay, they call this as a right, okay, lateral lobe, okay? They're divided into 2 lobes, right? And this can call as a left lateral lobe, okay? That's what it is. So this part is called right lateral lobe, left lateral lobe, and there's a connective tissues, okay, these cells that is actually connecting between these 2 lobes, okay? And this is so-called as your isthmus, okay? That's what they call, okay? So basically these 2 lobes, these bilobe structures, okay, your thyroid gland is bilobe structures, which are right and left lateral lobe, and those right and left lateral lobes are connected, but there's a connections here, okay, by this structure known as isthmus, okay? That is something that I wanted to quickly talk about. Now, once I have this, right, let's talk about, let's say, what I did was that, I picked one cell and I drew here, okay? This is a one follicular cells, and this is going to be my extracellular fluid, this is going to be my interstitium, and this is my blood, right? And it's bringing to one of the cells, and these are follicular cells, okay? And then this is known as my follicular cavities, okay? And we'll talk about what the structures are a little later. But this is my lumen, or my follicular cavity, and this is my follicular cells, and this is going to be my blood supplies, okay? And then this is going to be my interstitium, okay? That is something that we're going to discuss now, okay? Now, one thing that you have to remember is that, in order to make your thyroid hormones, one thing that is required is something called iodide. What is it called? It's iodide, and you have to pronounce it correctly too, okay? Let's talk about it. It is called iodide, okay? Iodide. And then this requires I with a negative charge, okay? And this one's, you take in a so-called in your diet, okay? And about person to person, right? But about daily allowance recommends for you to take, for an adult is about 150 grams or so, okay? About 150 grams or so of this iodide. And where you can find iodide, okay? Iodide are usually found in salts, right? You can find in salts, okay? Let's write down a couple of things. You can find in salts, okay? You can find in onions too, okay? And you find in you can find salts, you can find in onions, and you can find in something like seafood, okay? That you take in. That's how that you take the iodide in your circulations, okay? So when you take the iodide, okay, you have to remember that how much does it get excrete out, and how much it goes to so-called as your thyroid glands takes it, okay? How much iodide? So usually, okay, it takes about 20% of so-called this 150 grams of iodide, okay? So whenever you take the 20% of this, that's 150 grams, okay? What is that going to become? It's probably going to become about 30 grams or so, okay? So out of those 30 grams, but remember, okay, let's just take that. There's 30 grams is taken by your thyroid gland, okay? Let's write it down here. 30 grams is taken by so-called as your thyroid gland. But really what happens is that, only about 20 grams, okay, is utilized to make so-called your thyroid hormones. And what is going to happen to other sort of 10 grams or so, okay? Usually 18 to 20 grams are utilized to make your thyroid hormones. Other those, other ones, those 10 grams or 12 grams, about that, okay? There's a concept called they get leaked back, okay? They back leak and come to circulations, and then they'll get excreted out from the kidney, okay? This is just a general concept that I wanted to emphasize on you. But just for you guys, just know that about, let's say, about 20 grams or so, okay, is thyroid gland takes it, okay, this follicular sexus takes it to make thyroid hormones, okay? You can remember that, all right? Now, after this, we have to talk about this, okay? Now, this iodide is here, okay? And iodide is negatively charged as molecules, right? Now, the iodide came here, okay? So, when the iodide come here, okay, let's just talk about this iodide. When this iodide come here, okay, the follicular cells has to take it, okay? But remember, if you remember, the cells are what? Cell is so-called negatively charged, okay? And that negatively charge is maintained by, look, every cell has sodium, potassium, ATPase. Guys, this cell still has sodium, potassium, ATPase, okay? You don't want to forget that, okay? Because of that, what happens is that, okay, because of this cells is negative, and this is negative. So negative, what happens? It's not going to go this way, okay? Because it's going to get repelled, all right? And the other thing is that the concentrations of iodide usually in the cells are higher comparing to so-called in your blood, okay? So because of that, what happens? We have to push against its concentration gradients, okay? And also against its electrochemical gradients, okay? So because of that, you need so-called ATP, okay? And that ATP, and who's going to help? Sodium is our friend. We don't want to forget that. Sodium is going to help us, okay? Now, there's a very, very important transfer located here, and you guys have to remember this, because, certain drugs works there, okay? So you have to remember this, okay? So let's write it down here. This is a two-way transfer, okay? We'll write it down here. okay, its arrow is going to the both directions, okay. Look, this is the thing right here, okay. This transporter, and it's all over there too, okay. It's right here too, okay. And this is so called as, okay, let me write it down here. It's called Na, okay, I, and then IS, okay. What does that mean? What it basically means is that, okay, it's taking up 2 sodium in, okay, and then it's taking the iodide in, okay, and it is using so-called as ATP, okay, but it is using ATP indirectly, so we call them a secondary active transport, okay. So this one is so-called as a sodium, okay, sodium iodide, like, you know, sodium iodide transporter, that's what it is, okay. So this transporter is so-called as a sodium iodide transporters, okay. That's what we call them a NAIS, okay. But it is a importer because it is going to both the directions, even right here, okay. Now after that, what is going to happen here is that, so it is taking the so-called as your sodiums, and remember, it's taking 2 sodium, okay. Because it's taking 2 sodium, it has a higher affinity to bind with this iodide molecules and then bringing into so-called, you know, follicular cells, right. So because of this, okay, they're bringing this so-called your iodide right here in here, okay, and it's iodide. Now iodide is here, okay. Now let's talk about, you know, iodide. Okay, this iodide is now here, okay. Now what happens is the iodide will come down here, okay, and then here, you know, that's a couple of things you have to say. There's a very, very important, let's say, transporter is located here, okay, and we have to write down here. There is this transporter, okay, I'm going to write it, and then what is that? Is that it is a so-called anti-transporter, okay, and these anti-transporters are known as called pendrin, okay. And what does that do is that it takes, like, okay, what happens is that it takes so-called iodide here, iodide, which is a negative charge. Now instead it also brings, because remember, to maintain, look, let's say, to maintain this electronegative like equilibrium, okay, what is that? It's also gives back chloride here, okay, so the chloride comes in here, okay. So these are like so-called, you can say anion exchange, because both of them are negatively charged molecules, okay, that's what it is. Now whenever this iodide comes in here, okay, but remember guys, this is so-called apical surface, this is a basolateral surface, okay, and this sodium iodine transporter or iodide importer, they're located on the basolateral surface. This is a basolateral, and this is apical surface, right? And this apical is where you see the pendrin enzyme, okay. And one thing that here, when it comes here, okay, you have to see this, which is here. This here, very, very important enzymes, okay. We're gonna make this in a, let's say, in a triangle, okay, because these guys have a lot of functions, okay. Look, I'm going to make this like umbrella, okay, here. There's an important enzyme here, okay. This is called TPO, okay. This is TPO. It's not TPA, okay. It's not tissue plasminogen activator, okay. You find that in clotting factors, okay, where it converts plasminogen in plasmin, and then plasmin is those thrombin cutter, okay. But this is TPO, which is basically say thyroid peroxidase enzymes, okay. What do we call them? It's called thyroid peroxidase enzymes, okay. And it's really important that we understand this, okay. So let's write it down here, okay. This is called your thyroid, okay, and then peroxidase enzymes, okay. What is peroxidase? It uses so-called as your H2O2, okay. That's what it is. And this thyroid peroxidase, what it does is that, okay, it works in here, okay, and then it, you know what it does? You know, it oxidizes this iodide. What does oxidize mean? Oxidize basically means what? Loss of an electrons, right? So this iodide, okay, when it lose the electrons, okay, look, this is lost electrons, it will become so-called as a I0, okay. What is I0? Zero basically telling you that, okay, it has lost the electrons, okay. So with the help of this thyroid peroxidase enzymes, what is happening with this iodide is that it sort of oxidizes this iodide. So this iodide lost some electrons, okay, and it becomes so-called IO2, or simply they write it down like a I2, okay, like this, okay. And now when it lost the electrons, what does that become? It is no longer iodide, instead it is iodine, okay. That is what it has become now, okay, iodine, That's what it is, okay? So it's iodine. That's what it becomes, right? Loss of electrons. That is the role of this TPO enzymes, okay? Which is located on the apicals of these follicular cells, okay? And then one more thing that you should also understand is that this hydrogen peroxide H2O2, what does that come from? That is come from something called, there's an enzyme called dual oxidase, okay? And this is usually, that combines, and it's an intermediate of your pentose phosphate pathway, okay? This is just extra that I'm giving it to you. But